Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter. You know, category dominance isn't square footage. It isn't big inventory. The plumber with the smallest inventory of any plumbing company in the town. He had a van and a couple of tools in it. He had the courage to be known for something, and he had the discipline to be known for it before the customer had the need. He didn't just try to reach people whose drains were clogged. He reached people whose drains were going to clog someday. And he wanted to be the first company they thought of and the one they feel the best about.
Let's enjoy a brief intermission before we start part 2 of this section.
The third tug of war is opportunity versus security. We have intellect versus emotion, time versus money, pulling us 2 different ways. Then we have opportunity versus security. You see, opportunity and security, like time and money, are inversely proportionate. As one increases, the other decreases. Ask any banker. If you, in fact, want guarantees, government assurance, you get 4% interest. You can like it, lump it, take it down the road and dump it. You get 4%. Shut up. Well, no, I'm going to have better than 4%. Well, then you ain't getting guarantees, buddy. You will embrace increasing elements and degrees of risk with every interest point that you expect in return. Opportunity and security are inversely proportionate. While people are attracted to the excitement and adventure of opportunity, they are equally desirous of comfort, safety, and security. To which of those will you speak in your ad? Opportunity or security? They're both powerful forces. Oddly enough, the human creature likes to believe they lean toward opportunity. They like to believe they're Rambo, that they're Clint Eastwood, that they're, I'm showing you how old I am. Who's the new guy? Bruce Willis. They like to believe they're Arnold Schwarzenegger. But you know who they really are? Mr. Rogers. What they want is a place to belong, a cozy, comfortable sweater, and lots of guarantees, and not a lot of change. Now, there are people attracted to excitement and adventure. There are people attracted to opportunity. But for the most part, they will choose security when it comes to the push versus shove. People ask all the time, prospective clients. They'll come, they'll be interviewed by the staff, and the staff, having not yet voted to even accept the client, sometimes one of these knuckleheads will write out a big retainer check, and he'll slap it on the conference table, and he'll slide it over in front of us, and he'll say, if I hire your company, what can you guarantee me for this money? What's my guarantee? We have a ritual. I always lay my hand on top of his and look him squarely in the eye and say, I solemnly guarantee you will never see this money again. I am keeping the money. You see, opportunity and security are inversely proportionate. And if you believe there's something else you can do with this money that would yield you a higher return, I suggest you do it. Because we're going to do things that scare you. If you don't want to be scared, please get out the yellow pages and look under A for advertising agencies. Because if you came here because you expect paradigm-shifting difference in the way things have been, you want an order of magnitude shift in result. You're not going to get there with incremental change. And no, if it's ever been done before in your industry, then you're now a follower, not a leader. If you're going to knock the ball out of the park, you have to do something that nobody in your industry has ever tried. Now, I think it was Wilbur Wright who said it best. He said, if you are looking for perfect safety, you will do well to sit on a fence and watch the birds. But if you really wish to learn, you must mount a machine and become acquainted with its tricks by actual trial. He spoke these words, speaking to the Western Society of Engineers, on September 18, 1901. Since flight was considered a physical impossibility by all thinking scientists, the engineers laughed poor Wilbur out of the room. This photo of Wilbur was taken exactly 2 years and 3 months later. The government had completely given up. They had a Manhattan Project, a NASA kind of a thing going, funded by the U.S. government in the late 1800s. They concluded, absolutely unconditionally, that powered flight was a physical, mathematical impossibility. Could not be done. They had abandoned all funding. They had shut it down and made the declaration, can't be done. Nobody should bother dreaming about that. They spent huge money, big experiments, all the brightest minds, and 2 bicycle mechanics who were willing to die in the sky. Think about it. If this plane takes off, how high will it go? Will we be able to control it? Will we be able to bring it back down to the ground? Or will it just go higher and higher until it falls out of the sky from miles up? 2 bicycle mechanics who ran a bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio, said, we think the government's wrong. We think the Western Society of Engineers is wrong. We think we can do it with the tools we have here at the bicycle shop. And at Kitty Hawk, they did it. Opportunity and security are inversely proportionate. And when a person says, do you think it'll work? The answer of the advertising professional should be, yes, I do, and I'm willing to bet all your money that I'm right. We tell clients all the time that our firm is just like the air traffic controllers at the airport. You see, the air traffic controllers have a statement they make, and you must understand this in advertising. The air traffic controllers say, when the pilot screws up, they die. When we screw up, they die. Now, wait a minute. If you're an airplane pilot, the air traffic controller doesn't die if you go down, why listen to him? Why listen to the ad man? When the ad man says, no, if this doesn't work, you go broke, I'll still be fine. Why listen? Opportunity versus security. We tell people all the time, the stick of the airplane is in your hand. You're the CEO. It's your decision. We're simply telling you what has worked in other industries, a concept, a technology that's been proven to work in a parallel but unrelated industry. And we believe we can borrow that technology that's been proven, that idea, that concept of category dominance. Yes, it worked in toys. It worked in fast food. Category dominance worked in bookstores and home improvement companies. Maybe it would work in a plumbing company. Maybe it would work in a jewelry store. No, it's never been done in jewelry. No, it's never been done in plumbing until Roto-Rooter. But no, the concept is proven. That's just one of many such concepts. If you want to be a pioneer, look for what's already been done, but has never been done in this industry. That's an inside tip. Now, what is the fourth tug of war? It's style versus substance. We have intellect versus emotion, time versus money, opportunity versus security, and now we have style versus substance. Now, do Ben and Jerry make better ice cream, or do they just make better ads? You see, anytime I ask a large audience, which do you prefer? The image of Haagen-Dazs or the image of Ben and Jerry? Every hand in the room says Ben and Jerry. Huh, what's that all about? If you had 2 bowls of the ice cream in front of you, could you tell the difference? Probably not. People are attracted to people. Did you know that a photograph that has people in it will actually be looked at by more people and for longer periods of time than a photograph that has no people in it? Paintings in a museum. People attract people. Nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. There is nothing more invasive, intrusive, and irresistible than the sound of the human voice, speaking in a language that you understand. People. Humanity is magnetic. One ice cream has Ben and Jerry. The other ice cream has a made-up Euro-sounding word, Haagen-Dazs. We see 2 guys and we like the guys. We buy their ice cream. Is it a difference in substance? Is it a difference in ice cream? Is it the product itself? I think not. It's style. Now, the style versus substance issue becomes critical when the product has a difference in actual substance. When the product has a difference in actual substance, you need to consider doing what we did in Springfield, Missouri for an early client that's still a client and a good friend, Andy of Andy's Frozen Custard. Ugh, frozen custard. Everybody imagines it's like a Jell-O pudding pop or what? What is that exactly? You know, here's what's interesting. We get this call years ago, and Andy says, I want to hire your company. I says, what do you sell? And he said, frozen custard. I'm going, what's frozen custard? And he goes, well, come and try some. And so I'm there, and I said, so I only want to tell the story that's uniquely and wonderfully your own. And he said, okay, this is it. There's less than 100 places in the world that you can buy frozen custard made correctly. It has a shelf life of less than 1 hour. You have to serve it immediately after you make it. Number two, the federal government, the USDA, recognizes frozen custard as the most premium form of ice cream. We exceed all the criteria for ice cream. We can call our product ice cream, but neither Haagen-Dazs nor Ben & Jerry nor any other premium ice cream can call their product frozen custard. The USDA recognizes frozen custard here and everything else a notch below it, or multiple notches below it. He started describing how hard-pack ice cream like Ben & Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs that you buy at the grocery store has 55% whipped air so that you can drive a spoon into it when you pull it out of the freezer. Frozen custard has a short shelf life because you cannot store it in the freezer because it's less than 15% whipped air. It is so dense, so heavy, so smooth, so cold, so incredibly rich, and it's ice cream, but it's ice cream times ice cream squared.